This week, the tragedy of Ramlet, Coltrane's greatest hits, and handle with care, fragile comments. This is Seriously 7 Days. Hello, I'm your host Bryan Parmelee. I'm here to give you my take on just a few of the excellent stories happening in this week's issue. Let's start things off over at Dartmouth College, where they just held the world premiere of a brand new modern dance piece called Doggie, Hamlet. As the name suggests, the piece is mostly performed by sheep, an entire flock of sheep. And modern dance is a pretty rare career choice for a sheep, so it has not come without its controversy. After a preview video emerged of the performance, conservative websites were quick to call it a complete waste of federal taxpayer dollars, which is a weird thing to say about something that received no direct funding from the National Endowment for the Arts. But I will admit, some of that preview footage does look like the neighbors got a little loose with the booze and are riling up the flocks again. But it's absolutely insane to try and criticize federal funding for the arts based on a tiny clip of one piece. I mean, that'd be like criticizing every US president based on a single tweet by President Trump. It's just a tiny clip of performance art. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Now, if you thought your little nephew was obsessed with trains, wait to get a load of this guy in Huntington who spent more than 40 years building a miniature railroad mostly from scratch. His name is Mark Smith, and he builds miniature but historically precise and fully functional steam locomotives with his bare hands. It's pretty impressive, and he'll also let school children come in so the kids can drive the train and learn about how we used to build stuff ourselves before the robots took over. And I look at this and I think, this is the future of coal right here, right? Like small-scale projects we can share with the future generations and tell them, that's how we used to do it back before we realized we were roasting the planet. And see, not all coal jobs are disappearing. Lastly this week, when I'm not hosting this show, I do have other jobs here at 7 Days, such as helping to moderate comments, because you don't want to have too much faith in humanity, and you never know, that angry internet troll could be your president someday. Now, that job was particularly stressful this week because we did a story about Isaiah Hines, who is the recent South Burlington High School graduate who successfully campaigned to have the school drop the name The Rebels. Now, the story talks about some of the harassment he's received this past year, mostly from adults, and how he's somehow remained cool and collected, finished the school year, and is headed to an Ivy League school in the fall. Now, despite that, people still felt the need to leave comments questioning his racial identity or saying things that could best be summarized as, not all white people. And it's kind of remarkable. Like, you could not ask for more cut and dry examples of white fragility. Now, in case you don't know, white fragility is a phrase that was coined by a white professor, and all it refers to is a mental state where the tiniest bit of racial stress triggers a range of defensive actions. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person, doesn't mean that you're racist, and it certainly doesn't mean that all white people are fragile. It's mostly just the ones who can't read a story about an 18-year-old kid without feeling the need to lash out or defend themselves. Anyway, Isaiah is clearly moving on to bigger and better things. Maybe it's time to consider doing the same. That's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, read, all that good stuff. And tune in next week because I have something very special in store for our annual cartoon issue. Thanks again, and I hope you all have a very happy, fun, and safe 4th of July. Peace!